हरि ओम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। Bhagavad Gita, a conversation with God daily. Today we are beginning the 6th chapter. Shri Bhagavanuvacha anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha sasannyasi cha yogi cha na niragnirna chakriyaha. The 5th chapter, the greatness of Karma Yoga was explained throughout, and finally the characteristics of a jnani was described, and it was explained how one who does actions without getting attached to the results and without the feeling that I am the doer gets qualified for Jnana Yoga, and then by attaining wisdom he attains liberation. Now this 6th chapter is going to explain about Dhyana Yoga. The first shloka, Anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha. One who does all his actions without getting attached to the results. What we have seen throughout till now, throughout the last chapter. Such a person, such a karma yogi, sa sannyasi, sa yogi cha. That person is a sannyasi, and he is also a yogi. That is one who has succeeded in Dhyana Yoga. Na niragnir na chakriyaha. A person who has given up all actions related to fire, that is his daily, his Agnihotra, and then all yagas, everything. He has given up such activities, and cha akriyaha, also other activities like charity, digging wells for the sake of others, that is for the village, digging a well. Activities performed for the sake of others, penance. A person, if he just renounces all this, he is not a sannyasi. Don't think one who gives up all his actions is only a sannyasi. But one who does all actions by not getting attached to the results is a sannyasi. He is also a yogi. So here karma yoga is praised because next the Lord is going to say karma yoga is a step, the path to dhyana yoga. It was said it is the path to jnana yoga. Now it is being described as the path to dhyana yoga. Yam sannyasam iti prahuhu yogam tam vidhi pandava nahya sannyasta sankalpo yogi bhavati kaschana. Yam sannyasam iti prahuhu, that which is called as sannyasa or renunciation. You understand that that is only yoga also. Na hyasanyasta sankalpo yogi bhavati kaschana. One who does not give up his thoughts. Thoughts means thoughts related to the results of an action. He is unable to give up his attachment towards the results of the action, then he can never become a yogi. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodhaha. That is the ceasing of all thoughts. Total control or total absence of the mind is yoga. Steadfastness of the mind is called yoga. And when you are totally attached to the results of whatever you do, oh, I should get this out of this action. What if I don't get it? I have to do this well. Everything depends only on this. Somehow I'll have to succeed in this endeavor. And if you succeed, you feel so happy. If not, you feel so dejected. So many thoughts. How am I going to succeed? What should I do in order to succeed in this? Like this, when you are afflicted with so many thoughts, how is steadfastness of the mind possible? So, one who is unable to renounce attachment towards results of the actions can never be a yogi. So, giving up the attachment towards results of the action is actually yoga. Next shloka. Arurukshor muner yogam karma karanam uchyate yoga rudasya tasyaiva shamak karanam uchyate. Arurukshor muner yogam. This Muni, the sage who wishes to succeed in dhyana yoga, he must karma karanam uchyate. For one to succeed in dhyana yoga, one must first perform actions. Yoga rudasya tasyaiva, and after he succeeds in that dhyana yoga, then he can give up his actions. Actually, the meaning is one who is not able to attain success in dhyana yoga. That is, he is not able to concentrate. He is not able to control his mind, his thoughts. When he is sitting for meditation, his thoughts just, they fly in 1,000 directions. He is not able to control his mind. Such a person, he has to first perform actions. And gradually, when that control of the mind is reached, then he can give up actions. At that stage, when he has actually attained that yoga, controlled his mind, then giving up actions will be the path for him. Because more and more you give up actions, you don't do anything, you refrain from all pravritti, then the more controlled your mind is, the less the thoughts and more controlled your mind is. So, in that stage, giving up actions is best. So now, here that karma yoga is explained as the sadhana, as the path for dhyana yoga. For that only, as an introduction in the previous shlokas, it was said karma yoga is actually sannyasa. Karma yoga is only yoga. Attaining success in dhyana yoga, everything is actually karma yoga. It was said because that karma yoga forms the basis for everything, whether it be jnana yoga or whether it be dhyana yoga. Yada hinendriyartheshu na karmasu anushajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yogarudastadochyate. It was said in the previous shloka, when he succeeds in yoga, then he can give up actions. What is actually succeeding in yoga is explained in this shloka. Yadahi nendriyarteshu na karmasu anushajjate. Indriyartaha means the objects of the senses. That is, whatever we hear, whatever we see, whatever we taste, all these are indriyarthaha. When a person is not attracted towards all these things, he is not desirous of seeing something, I want to see this, I want to see this. He doesn't want to hear anything. He doesn't have any particular taste for any particular food. So, his attraction towards all these sensory pleasures is gone. And na karmasu anushajjate. He is not interested in doing any action also. Some people, they will always be so enthusiastic. I have to do this, I have to do that. And now, this person has reached a stage where he doesn't want to do any action. He doesn't want to start anything. When you don't need anything, previously it was said, totally he is not interested in any of the sensory pleasures. When you have no desires at all, when you don't want anything, then why are you going to do something? Whatever we do is because we want something. Even if I just adjust my position of sitting, then it means that I feel more comfortable in that position. So whatever you do, every single action, just this moving of the hand like this, everything is because it gives you something. You attain something from that. So you do. When you don't want anything at all, totally, you don't have any inclination to do something. Sarva Sankalpa Sannyasi. Totally, he is devoid of thoughts. There are no thoughts at all. Just think. Thoughts are the basis for any action, right? If we just observe, first you get a thought, then only you put it into action. That thought only comes out as action, as speech, as movement. So this person has totally given up all thoughts. The Mahabharata says, Kama janami te moolam sankalpa tvam hi jayase natvam sankalpayishyami tena me na bhavishyasi. It says, hey desire, I know that you are born out of thoughts. When there are no thoughts, then there are no desires at all, says the Mahabharata. And the Upanishad says, Sa yatha kamo bhavati tat kratur bhavati yat kratuhu bhavati tat karma kurute. And so first thoughts give rise to desires. And sa yatha kamo bhavati, whatever desires a person has, that sort of a determination he has, that sort of a willpower. I have to attain this. That desire drives him to do something. And based on his determination, his actions are performed. So, thoughts, desires, and then based on that desires, actions. Here this person, Sarva Sankalpa Sannyasi, totally devoid of thoughts itself. So the base itself has been destroyed. When there is no thoughts, then no desires, no actions. Totally, he is without any actions. Yoga Rudaha Tadochyate. Such a person is said that he has succeeded in yoga. He is in Samadhi. Dhyana Yoga actually culminates in Samadhi, right? And then Sakshatkara. So, in Samadhi, totally devoid of everything. Thoughts, desires, actions, nothing exists there. Next shloka. Uddhared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Uddhared atmana atmanam. This shloka says, lift yourself up, improve yourself, reach higher and higher heights. Na atmanam avasadayet. Don't pull yourself down. Always, the path must be upward. Keep improving. Never pull yourself down. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu. Atmaiva ripuratmanaha. You are your own friend and you are your own enemy. Actually, in this path of spirituality, in this spiritual journey, any other friend or other relatives are all actually hindrances in the forward path. The more attachments you have towards relatives, friends, then attachments is the cause of so many evil. We have already seen we have to give up the attachment to everything. So, such friends are actually enemies in this journey. You are your own friend and you are your own enemy. We'll stop with this for today. Tomorrow, how one is one's own friend and he only is his own enemy. That is explained in the coming shlokas. We'll see that tomorrow. Hari Om.